Hello, welcome back. It's been a while. I'm happy to be back though. It's just different things were kind of, I guess, restricting me from making new episodes. So I do apologize for the lack of content recently. But I'm really happy to be back in my office chair, desk chair thing, and back with using my blue snowball to actually get to record something again. It feels really good. But yeah, in this week's episode, I talked with itscherrypie, my sister, who is now streaming on Twitch and has a Twitter, which I'll also link in the description along with the Twitch that I mentioned. But yeah, definitely check her stuff out. We had a really great conversation about female brick filming and how it's like really lacking and why we think it's lacking, and I think it was a really deep conversation, I guess you could say. Yeah, so I hope you enjoy it. Before it begins though, I do want to mention that on my YouTube channel I am now streaming building the Lego Death Star set that I got for Christmas. So if you would like to check that out and you are not subscribed to my YouTube channel but are listening to this through a podcasting app or podcasting platform, then you can check it out on my YouTube channel. But just make sure that if you are subscribing to stay tuned for it, thanks in advance if you are, just make sure that you turn notifications on, because otherwise you won't get notified about it when it is happening. But yeah, I hope to see you there, and I hope that if you do show up that you enjoy it just as much as I'm currently enjoying doing it. So yeah, so without further ado, here is episode 14 of the Nothin But Bricks Podcast. Welcome to episode 14 of the Nothin But Bricks Podcast. Today I'm joined by itscherrypie. Welcome to the show.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
No problem. So, first question is, you've recently gotten into Twitch streaming.
Yeah.
So, what's that been like?
It's been like streaming, playing games. It's good, yeah. It's really fun, and I think that's like the main reason why I do it, because I don't know, I wanted to do it for a few months and then I just kind of never took the leap, I guess. So it was kind of sudden how I got into streaming, because the day that Mind Game Studios uploaded the video that I was in, it was linked to my Twitch was linked in the description of the video, and I hadn't posted anything on it, so our brother Connor said I should probably stream that day. And so I figured he was right, because, you know, if someone's going to be clicking onto my Twitch from the video, they're not going to want to, like, it's better to have something for them to look at on there. So I sort of started streaming that day and then just kept streaming every day for like a couple days after that, and then I set a schedule and that sort of stuff, but it was quite sudden.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, it was definitely a very sudden thing to be just kind of diving head first into streaming and voice acting as well, which leads me into my next question. You've been voice acting for Mind Game Studios and the Bricks, as you were saying before about Mind Game's video, but what was it like just starting out voicing for big brick filmers like them?
Well, my first voice acting jobs were actually for your videos. But I think Mind Game's video was the third one I had ever done, probably. And then, yeah, it was really cool. I think I wasn't sure that I even wanted to do it at the start when you sent me the thing, because I'd set up like a Fiverr, and I'd set up Twitch and stuff so that I could do voice acting and streaming and stuff, and then I just never actually did it. But then when the opportunity arose, like that Mind Game Studios just happened to be looking for a female voice actor, because I'd been on Fiverr like as a female voice actor or whatever for months and had no messages on it, because I guess that's just how it works. If you don't have any past work, you don't get boosted or something on the site. But anyway, yeah, once Mind Game Studios posted the thing that he wanted a female voice actor, it was like, oh, that's me. And then I was kind of nervous. I was like, I don't really want to try because I'm too scared, but then I just kind of did it. And then once I got the first one, I just kind of kept applying for stuff, I guess. Well, you sent me the Bricks original posting on Instagram about that he needed female voice actors as well, and then recently I've applied for another video, which I'm not sure if I can mention because I actually don't know what the channel's called. But yeah, I'm not sure what the channel's called, but I don't know when that'll come out either, but it'll be fun, and I'm gonna record it as soon as I can.
Cool. So because you ended up kind of diving headfirst, as we were saying, into voice acting and streaming, have you thought about where you want to be a year from now in those kind of fields?
That's a good question. I haven't, to be honest. Like, I only started this December, which is 2020, and I don't know. I think I don't really have big plans right now because I don't know if I'll still be getting like voice acting jobs a year from now, but I hope I will. I guess I'll just keep putting my foot in and trying to do as much as I can, I guess. And also one of my New Year's resolutions is to stick to a streaming schedule, so hopefully I'll keep that up, and I really want to because it's fun and like, you know, just, I don't know, something for me to do during the day because I have been really bored this year, so.
Right, yeah. So, yeah, as long as you're enjoying it is kind of the gist.
Yeah, just to, basically a year from now I want to still be doing whatever is keeping me entertained, I guess. I also might start, like, making brick films, but I'm not 100% sure yet, because I did get Lego for Christmas, and I'm kind of excited about that, so I might start actually making YouTube videos, but I don't know.
So, yeah, I meant to ask you about that, but what kind of mindset do you have around brick films? Like, do you enjoy watching them? Do you not really have, like, much of an interest towards them? Or, like, are you interested in learning more about them? Or are you just kind of like, oh, they're just a thing, you know?
Yeah, I definitely enjoy watching them, but I did notice that, like, the majority of brick filmers are men. And there's a real big lack of women in the brick filming community, I think. And so it's hard to know what, like, I'll make if I do get into it, because there's not people that are making things that I'm, like, I don't know, that I would that I can take inspiration from, I guess, and there are not really many people with the same perspective as me in the community. So I guess it's cool because then I have, like, a sort of niche audience type of thing. Well, not audience, but, you know, like a niche area of the community to start in, but also it's kind of scary because I don't know what to make, you know?
Yeah, well, the other thing is, like, you don't necessarily have to just take inspiration from brick films. Like, I think it would be cool to see, like, a niche within a niche of, like, female brick filmers making things targeted towards other female brick filmers, kind of, like, drawn from things that might inspire them because of experiences that they would have had because of their gender or something. So it would be interesting to see what kind of, like, I'm not saying you have to just make those kind of those kinds of videos, but I mean, it'd be interesting to see what comes out of brick filming from your perspective.
Yeah, for sure. I think there's definitely a big gap in, like, there's not even that many female characters in brick films. Like, I've noticed 99% of the characters that are in brick films are men, just because it's easiest to get male voice actors in that community as well. So yeah, I think it'll be good that, like, I do sort of feel like I have a unique voice, but at the same time it's possible that I just don't know enough female like brick filmers, that maybe there are, like, tons of them and I just didn't notice. So if anyone knows of any, put them in the comments of this video.
Yeah, that would be cool, yeah, because I didn't actually have any female brick filmers on the podcast, you were saying as well.
Yeah.
So I should try and get, like, people from different kinds of backgrounds and things.
Yeah.
And
yeah, but I mean, it's not your fault either, because, like, there just isn't that many. There aren't that many female brick filmers. Like brick filming, obviously the community is quite diverse in like where people are from, but at the same time, it's mostly the one genre where it's sort of superheroes and fighting and men and whatever. Like there's not a lot of variety from what I can see. So I wouldn't say that that's necessarily your fault that you haven't had a woman on. It's just they're harder to find in the community than men are.
Yeah, I think that's definitely accurate. Yeah, had I known about more female brick filmers, I would definitely have asked them to come on. Not just because they're female.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Like you're not only picking men. It's just that there women in the community are really rare, I suppose, at the moment.
Yeah.
Hopefully that'll change though. Hopefully there'll be more.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So are you hopeful that is going to happen soon, or do you think that's going to take some time, or what? What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. I hope it would happen soon, but like I have no idea. I think as well, like a lot of the Lego like ads are directed towards boys, so girls kind of grow up. I mean, there are like Lego Friends and Disney Lego and stuff now that are kind of more targeted towards girls, but the main like sets out of Lego in advertising there are boys in the ads, and they're like, whatever. I think it's more of an industry issue than like a community issue. So
sorry, didn't mean to cut you off, but I mean, what I was going to say was like because the ads would be targeted towards boys and brick filming is like a public thing. You put it on YouTube and Twitter and whatever. It might be intimidating, I suppose, for girls to want to get into that sort of thing, and for it to be a healthy, enjoyable hobby for them if there's so many like ads where it's like, this isn't a female thing, like me and the boys going to make brick films.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And like I think as well, like the fact that they're making more ads with, I don't know, like the Disney Lego that's targeted towards girls, like Frozen and whatever, it's a good thing and a bad thing, because it's kind of segregating, like you can only play with this toy if you're this gender. But at the same time, it's kind of bringing more young girls into Lego, which is nice, because there hadn't been that before,
Yeah, it's definitely causing a divide, but it's also like a bridge kind of thing where they can kind of, in the later years, go more into the side of like not normal, but I mean like the mainstream kind of Lego stuff, like Lego City or Lego Star Wars or something.
Yeah, it's definitely like a 2 steps forward, 1 step back kind of situation, where they're going in the right direction, but they're still not fully there yet, I guess. Like even in the mainstream Lego sets where it's like Avengers and Star Wars and whatever, there's not many female even figures, and that is an issue in my opinion.
And the other thing I've noticed, and that it really bothered me as well for making brick films, from an animator's perspective, is that hair pieces for the female figures are very restrictive in the figures' movements. Like it's really hard to move their heads to be more expressive, and to be more kind of, I don't know, what's the word, articulate for the so I've noticed like they only really do that for the female figures, and they don't have that for many male figures.
Yeah, and I think it's possible that could be a part of the reason why there's so few like female characters in brick films, because of the physical restrictions of the like figures, and also they just don't make many female figures.
Yeah, it's just a shame that they didn't really figure out what they could do to kind of improve that kind of appeal towards female brick filmers and stuff. Like Lego is very opposed to trying new things, from what I've seen. and I've talked about this before, but it is frustrating to see like they only kind of stick to what sells, and like they're not really going to change their whole brand, which I guess is understandable from a certain perspective, but it's also like limiting to their audience and their fan base. And yeah, I suppose it's just kind of like you were saying, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. It's a bit frustrating.
Yeah, and I mean, there's time for that to change, and there's definitely the want and the need for that to change, but it's hard to see it happening because I don't know. They're just, I don't know how likely that is to happen, that they'll sort of make it more accessible to girls, because it's selling well at the moment anyway, so they don't really feel the need probably in the Lego office or whatever. But yeah, I would definitely say in the community there's a big gap.
Yeah, and if they were to, I hope Lego's listening. If they were to like change up the marketing strategies that they're using, they could potentially sell like thousands, if not like hundreds of thousands of more sets because of their tactics. Like, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Like, the more diverse the actual, what's it called, the product, the more diverse their audience will be, and then there will be like pretty much nobody they can't sell it to, essentially, if they just include a few more people. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like a few more types of people even.
Yeah, it's a bit crazy.
Yeah, and hey, if Lego are listening and they want to hire me, I mean, hit me up. I'm free.
But anyways, moving on. So, what is it like to see your voice come to life in other people's projects? Is it like a very weird thing, or is it like, I don't know, what's it like for you?
I think, well, at least at the moment, like in the beginning, it's really weird and also super embarrassing to watch back the like voice lines. But at the same time, it's sort of, I think it's just a thing of like people listening back to their own voice and sort of cringing and being like, ew. But at the same time, it's cool because, I don't know, it's a lot of fun. So I try not to let the fact that it's like grosses me out a bit to hear my own voice stop me from actually doing voice acting, because I just yeah, I really enjoy it, essentially, is the point. And so why would I stop? I don't know.
Yeah, I like the thing with like hearing back your voice. I've definitely experienced that kind of cringing type thing. Like one of my, I think it's actually my first, apart from like the trailer for my first a lengthy brick film, my first brick film, the like boomerang skit thing, I had to do the voice acting because I just wanted to get it done in time, and I couldn't really find anybody, and I didn't really know much about the Discord voice acting world, which I kind of wish I did now, because I ended up paying people on Fiverr an awful lot of money to record voice lines. Like, they were good. It's just if I knew about the Discord voice acting community for brick films, I would have been sliding into some DMs. But yeah, like even listening to my voice acting stuff in the beginning, and like for me it was kind of cringy, like, as well, like oh, that's how I sounded in this particular like video, but looking back, it's like you can see kind of your progress and that you're improving, at least with like voice acting. Like, if like I don't really find it cringy anymore. I just think it's like, oh, it's just a thing that I did that people who can appreciate that kind of thing have seen, I guess.
Yeah.
And I can still improve at voice acting as well. So yeah, it's yeah, I forgot what I was going to say, but it was like, but I remembered again. It's like I can see that I'm actually improving with voice acting and not wasting my time, I guess.
Yeah, it's definitely something that I'm hopeful is gonna just kind of get easier to do, like, over time, because it's kind of sad that like watching a video that I've been in back is cringy, you know, or not cringy, but it makes me cringe. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I've definitely, even with the podcast, like the first few episodes, editing it back, it's like, oh, should I put this up? I don't know. And then I just did it, and I was really happy with myself because I put it out. And looking back as well, I don't even like flinch when listening back to my own voice now, because I'm just that used to it at this point. So yeah, it definitely comes with like listening to voice lines that you did over and over again, and yeah, listening to hours upon hours of yourself helps get used to it.
You grow an immunity over time.
Yeah, sort of, yeah.
I don't know.
Like, don't get me wrong, I've still experienced the awkwardness and stuff. Like when I was recording my video essay and editing it back, I was like, oh, this is really weird to like be editing myself like with a camera in my face, kind of. But you know, I'm happy I put out the video because it did really well.
I know, it's funny as well. And like, I think it's just a human thing. Like, we're not supposed to have this technology. We're not supposed to know what we sound like or look like or whatever. Okay, maybe look like, because, you know, water, you can see a reflection in it. But I mean, the amount of people that are able now to like see themselves every day and hear themselves every day, and like, especially editing like videos or podcasts or whatever, it's really weird at the start, like you were saying, like, but I think it's just an instinct, because I don't know, humans are programmed to just think everything they do is terrible and everyone else is better than them and stuff like that. So
like survival of the fittest.
Yeah. And it kind of pushes you to improve as well, but that's not what we're here to talk about, so let's stop talking about it.
So moving on. So Christmas has just passed, and a lot of Lego fans and brick filling fans would have gotten either new brick filling equipment, which I got, a new webcam, pretty cool, or new Lego sets, which I also got, also pretty cool, and new recording equipment, as Neve has just pointed out to me, which we are currently using. It's also very cool.
Yeah, I got you that.
So what kind of Lego and brick filming related things did you get?
I got a Lego set, and aside from that, what did I get? I'll talk about that in a second. I'm just trying to think of, did I get anything else related to it? I got a coffee machine, which will make me more energetic, I guess, for streaming. What else did I get? I don't think I got anything else related to like streaming or any of that, but I did get a Lego set, and I'm very excited about it.
So, do you want to describe it?
Oh yeah, so I got the Scooby-Doo Haunted Mansion set, I think. It's one of the, I think it's probably the biggest Scooby-Doo Lego set that they made. It comes with all of the Mystery Gang and a few, well, aside from Fred, and a few of the, like, what would you call them? Monsters or whatever. I finished building it today as well, so it's just sitting in my room waiting to be used in some way. So I'll probably make a brick film with it. I've actually started writing like the angles that I want to film and stuff, so I'm pretty sure that's gonna happen, but I don't know.
Cool. So yeah, do you like, are you thinking of it as kind of like a big deal to be getting a Lego set again after like years of not having any?
Oh yeah, I would say so. Because I think growing up, like I was saying, the Lego was always advertised to boys, and it was always like, you know, Star Wars and whatever, and those types of things I was interested in, but not like extremely. Like, there were other stuff that I was more sort of into at the time, and that would have taken up more of my, I don't know,
attention span.
Yeah, exactly. Taking up more of my attention. There you go. And so I just didn't really get Lego sets when I was younger. This is the first Lego set I've got since
that like Lego Friends house thing.
No, the last one that I got was a Minecraft set, but I don't remember when.
Oh,
I think
yeah,
it
that was like
was
5 years ago.
Yeah, it was so long ago. I still have the pieces of it somewhere. Not all of them, of course. I've lost loads of them. But
So then,
yeah,
after building some of the set, wait, are you finished it or are you still building?
yeah, I finished it today.
Oh, cool. So after building the entire set, are you like, is it something that interests you, or like, are you gonna want to do that kind of stuff again?
Yeah, I definitely do think so. I was considering building it on stream, but then I figured I would just do it off stream because I think Lego for me is like when we were younger, you and Connor would have gotten a Lego set every year for Christmas, and you would spend like most of Christmas Day building them. And I would never ask for Lego because I was saying, I was more interested in like dolls and I don't know, plushy things or whatever, like teddy bears and that kind of thing. But then I was always really like sad that I wasn't included in the building process as well, which is fair enough, like, because it was your Lego, you know. But at the same time, I sort of every year wished I would have asked for Lego, and then the next year I just didn't again because I just didn't really have a use for it, I guess, because I didn't really use Lego that often, so it didn't feel very justified. Whereas now I think it's just sort of a not an impulse buy, but like it's just for me, I guess. Like a gift to myself to ask for a gift from someone else. But yeah, I think if I can use it for brick filming, that's cool, but if not, like, I just want it as like a thing for myself anyway, you know.
So also, like, you enjoy doing puzzles like jigsaws, don't you?
Yeah.
So have you found that there are some similarities there?
Yeah, my mom was looking at it yesterday, or our mom, I should say, and she was like, "Oh, it's like 3D jigsaws." Yeah, because I have how many jigsaws? Like 5, maybe, like 1,000-piece proper big ones, or maybe a bit more than 1,000. But anyway, yeah, I spent months over the past like 2 years doing jigsaws, and I think it's the bit that always excited me about your and Connor's Lego sets was the actual, like, following the instructions and putting the pieces together that are supposed to go together type of thing. So it is quite similar to jigsaws in that way, where like everything's supposed to fit together the right way to make the overall picture. But Lego is kind of more fun in the way that, like, there's different shapes and sizes of, well, I guess you can get those jigsaws that are like different shapes and sizes of all the pieces, but most of them are quite like similar in size. Most of the jigsaw pieces in the jigsaws that I have, every jigsaw piece is the same size, it's just a different shape. So yeah, I think Lego is just kind of more interesting in that way.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, cool. Yeah, like, I'm currently building the Death Star set, and it's kind of like, while you're building it, you don't really see the bigger picture of it. It's like, oh, this is kind of strange, like, why am I putting this piece in this place? But then once it all comes together, it's like, oh, it makes sense. It's like a jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah, exactly.
So you were saying before you wanted to do a Scooby-Doo brick film, but what kind of story would you want to tell?
I think if I were to do a brick film with the Lego that I got for Christmas, like the Haunted Mansion set, because there are so many of the monsters and that kind of thing, I think I would just probably stick to the format of like a Scooby-Doo episode, because that's what interests me and stuff. Because the reason that I got the Scooby-Doo Lego was because before now I hadn't really before this year, I guess, I hadn't really realized just how much Lego has kind of expanded on their sets. And not that the Scooby-Doo stuff is new, but I didn't realize they had Lego that was like stuff that I was really interested in, if you know what I mean. I like Star Wars and I like Avengers and that kind of thing, but it's not like one of my main favorite movies or shows or franchises or whatever. So the fact that they like have Scooby-Doo stuff is kind of cool.
They also have they also have Lego Stranger Things.
Oh yeah, Connor was telling me about that today.
So I suppose I've asked a few guests this before because I think it's just an interesting thing to talk about. But like, what kind of franchises and like shows or movies or games would you do you want to see as a Lego set?
Ooh, that's a really cool question. I don't know. I think things that are visually like different than other shows and franchises would be cool, like different comics or different cartoons. I'm trying to think of specifics, but I don't know.
Because I'd say like, I was just thinking about this a second ago while you were saying while you were trying to think of something, but Lego Umbrella Academy would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Or steering kind of away from superheroes, I would say maybe Twilight. But at the same time, I'm not saying that I particularly love Twilight or anything, but there are a lot of issues with it, so I don't know if that would be the best franchise to sort of feed money into. But at the same time, just something that's visually and sort of conceptually different than like superheroes and stuff. Not that I don't like superheroes, it's just that it's so oversaturated in Lego with like superheroes and whatever.
They kind of,
you know,
like there's only so many Batman vehicles that Lego could keep releasing.
Yeah, it would be nice to see variety is all I'm saying. Like something that would be visually, I don't know, I'm very like a visual learner and that kind of thing, so I think stuff that would be cool to look at that would be different than stuff they've already kind of been making, but I don't know what that would be, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, like they've started to so that'd be like modular buildings kind of thing, or like the Colosseum that we were talking about.
Yeah, I think the Colosseum would be really cool of a set to like get maybe further down the line though, because I'm assuming it's really expensive.
Yeah,
because it's huge.
Yeah.
But maybe at some point I would like to get that, I think. But also like just stuff that's to do with architecture, like the Lego creators thing. Yeah, I would definitely like stuff that's to do with architecture or stuff that's to do with I don't know. I noticed they don't have a lot of like they have a lot of monotone type sets, if that makes sense. Like the majority of Lego is like grey or black or whatever, or white. Like a lot of the Star Wars stuff, and I guess it makes sense because in the films they are like quite plain. Not plain, but you know.
It's like their universe is kind of based around that kind of color scheme. Yeah.
And that's cool, but it would be cool, and I mean it's probably cheaper to produce when there's like more of that color, I guess. But at the same time it would be cool to see like sets that are all other colors, you know? Like the Scooby-Doo set is quite a lot of purple and green and orange, just because those are the main like colors of the franchise, I suppose. But I think something just a bit brighter would be nice to see, because there is a lot, and I guess the creators stuff, the Lego creators. Yeah,
I like the Lego ideas.
Yeah, they sort of do that with the, you know, the buildings that can stack and stuff like that.
Oh, the modular buildings,
Yeah. Those are quite cool because they're different colors and all that stuff. But I think just something different, you know.
Yeah.
They've been doing a lot of the same for so long.
Yeah.
It would be really nice to see something else.
Yeah, like the Scooby-Doo stuff was really cool, except they didn't make that many of those sets, so they were like hard to get your hands on, kind of.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool to see the difference in pieces and like style when you're building it, and also like if they did like something like, I was just thinking like if they did like Van Gogh paintings that you could build, like that would be really cool. That would be
so cool. Yeah, I'm really into you know, art and music and that kind of thing. If they could do something like that, I know they've done like the Beatles as Lego, but that's a whole lot of tiny pieces that you stick onto one like base plate, which I feel like is kind of not the greatest, because trying to take those off is so hard.
Yeah,
that you're better off just making like a jigsaw.
Yeah,
for that.
like they've definitely in recent years kind of gone more in the direction of like they've made more sets targeted towards adults, which is pretty cool. Like with more kind of details in them and stuff. Like they are more pricey,
Yeah.
but like they from the looks of things they look very cool, and the Death Star is also one of those.
Yeah.
Well, I mean it's a pretty old set. Like they keep kind of remaking it and everything, but
Yeah.
like the general idea behind it has been around for a while. But yeah, I think if they can keep making like, I don't know, just keep coming up with new ideas. Like the Lego Mario thing was a cool concept. It's just
the execution.
Yeah.
Could use some work.
Yeah, like if they just I don't know, listen to the community more.
Yeah, I think the thing I was really excited about with the Scooby-Doo stuff as well is the figures. They're quite accurate to the show, but at the same time they're like very, what would you say, like you can use them for a lot of different characters, I guess, because I think it was Connor who said to me like a lot of the time they do when they're making, say, a superhero type figure, or just because he makes, wait, what am I trying to say? Yeah, when they make like a superhero figure or like somebody wearing like a suit or something, the printing for the top sort of gets blended down to the bottom, I guess, because they print it on the legs essentially, and then it's harder to use for other figures. Whereas in the Scooby-Doo one, they keep the t-shirts to the top half and the like trouser area to the bottom so it seems like you could use it for a lot of different characters than just like the mystery gang or whatever. And I'd say he noticed that because he makes the custom like minifigures and stuff.
Yeah. So moving on, we have some questions from Twitter and Instagram. Which, if you want to be included in the next Q&A type section of the podcast, just check out my Twitter or Instagram linked in the description below. So the first question is from The Bricks Official. He said, "What are your future plans?" So what are your future plans in terms of? I'm pretty sure he means like in terms of future projects, future like brick film related things.
Right. My future plans, I suppose, first of all, the Scooby-Doo video, I'll have to write that and film it and stuff, if I'm going to do that, which I'm pretty sure I will. But I don't want to, like, say that I'm going to do it if I'm not. So, since I said it in this podcast, I probably should. That'll be my motivation to do it. But, not that I didn't have it before, but anyway. Yeah, the Lego Scooby-Doo video, and then or brick film, and then I am gonna be in hopefully a lot more just other people's videos, like voice acting. At the moment I have one that I'm currently working on, but aside from that, my future plans, maybe to build Lego on stream. That could be cool. Sort of blend the two
hobbies.
Yeah.
Cool.
Like
yeah.
the two hobbies.
Yeah. Well.
The two worlds.
Yeah. It would be interesting to see what kind of brick films you'd make over the next year or so, because for me, like this time last year, I was starting to get back into it after like a year or two of a break, and then so I basically forgot completely how to do it, and I wasn't any good before because I wasn't following the rules correctly.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say you forgot that it existed.
Well, sort of, yeah. I kind of rediscovered it because I started watching Ed Bound's videos again. Well, for the first time, but like I started watching brick films again.
Right.
And got back into it. But yeah, I sort of had to relearn everything, and kind of I feel like I learned more than I would have known beforehand, as well. So I feel like if like you're in the same boat going into it, it would be cool to see like what kind of level you end up on.
Yeah, and also if by the end of next year I'm sort of where you're at now, that'll be like really cool, first of all, because I think your videos are really good at the moment, and like that's so much growth for 1 year.
I think so. Yeah. Not to humble brag, right?
No, but I really think you've put in like so much work on it as well. So like you can see like the amount of time you spend on it really pays off in the final product and stuff.
Well, thank you. But
You're welcome.
I was listening to the World of Brick Films podcast, and Zoe Penta made a very interesting point that I kind of realized myself, is that like he's put so much time into a project he's working on that it's a good thing he likes it. Like
Yeah.
he enjoys making brick films, because like it's a lot of time and like effort, and even physically to just, and money, and physically to put all that like strain on your body, even like to be standing up for that long or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot to for one person to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely, like, I think it's worth it in my opinion, because like it's something I can keep building up, kind of. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting. But yeah, thank you for that question. The bricks. We kind of went off topic there, but yeah, so it's fine. I think. But,
That's it.
But yeah, future plans for me, anyways. I forgot to mention, but this time last year, like I was saying, I would have been getting back into making brick films, and I would have been starting the Devil in Carnage, which was like a project that took like 5 months, which is basically where I learned everything that I'm all the skills that I am utilizing currently. But yeah, so my goal is to have another project like that that'll make me improve again, because now that I have a webcam, I'm going to focus on like cinematography, that kind of end of it, because my camera angles are kind of boring currently, because I'm kind of restricted with the size of the camera. Like I'm still going to use the DSLR for certain shots, depending on what they are, or I could even do like a dual shot thing where I use both of them at once, get like 2 shots of the same scene, and just kind of flicker between them. But yeah, I am definitely excited to get into learning more skills around it to improve things.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll be starting a project that'll take a few months, I'm sure. But hopefully it'll be worth it at the end.
Yeah, all the best projects take a few months, so I think it'll be cool. And the script for it's really cool.
Oh, thank you. Well, it's actually funny that you mentioned the thing about the best projects taking a few months, because the first project I did took like 5 months, like I was saying, but it's not very good looking back compared to my other stuff, which I guess isn't a bad thing, because the main outcome from it was learning the skills that I'm utilizing, as I was saying already. But yeah, so it's interesting to see like what I can make now in 2 weeks is very different, like in quality, and like it's better in quality in my opinion compared to what I made in 5 months.
Yeah, but at the same time, like on that topic, you were quite new to it, and like to throw yourself into a big project at the start is really, I would say, brave, because you have to have like so much discipline, I suppose, to like stick to it, and like motivation to actually get it done. And then it also, like the amount you learn from it as well, it's really cool. I think I said that weird. But yeah, the point I'm trying to make is probably the reason why the stuff that you're making now is better than it was then is because you've like done so much work to improve. Whereas like if you make the big project like you're saying this year, or like 2021, then look, like comparing that to your other big video, I'd say you'll see like how much you've improved since.
Well, I hope so. Like I have very specific shots in my head, and of how I want it to go and what I want the sets to look like and everything. So hopefully I can meet up to those expectations now, because like the original script for The Devil in Carnage, I cut a lot of the things out of it because of like the fact that it did take a long time to make the things, like to make the video.
Yeah.
Even in the Batman video, like I cut a scene out because I thought it was kind of unnecessary to include, which then I kind of realized I cut one of the voice actors' main scenes out of it, so then they only had one line in the video.
Oh.
But yeah, it was like a scene with Robin and the hostages. When he rescues the hostages, he was supposed to like take them up to a rooftop and then basically be like, "You're safe now," and then say like, "The Batwing is coming," and then the Batwing would fly in and like take them away, kind of to safety, and then Robin would go back down to Batman. But because I didn't shoot it in like chronological order, like I shot it all in a different order, I would have done that scene last. But then I realized I don't need to keep this part in for the video to make sense. So there's no point really, because it's like just a bit of a like dump of like time wasting and all that stuff. But also another thing that I would want to work towards is being like having the characters be more animated while they're speaking, because a lot of the character, like currently when the characters are speaking in my videos, they're kind of just still images, because I haven't quite figured out how to use, because I can't see the animation as I'm making it. I have to just like hope that it looks okay afterwards. Like for afterwards in post-production and stuff, I can't really match up the voice lines with animations. So Edbound used to use the same in capturing software thing that I use, Digicam Control. He has like a proper stop motion software now, but before he was using the thing that I'm using.
Cool.
And he said that he would have figured out dialogue by figuring out the timing of each line, which like translated to how many frames he'd have to take to get like certain exaggerated movements, which I thought was really interesting, because I never would have thought that like maths would go into brick films. But there you go, it's pretty cool.
I was just gonna say, it's all maths. I'm really bad at maths. So,
well, I mean, if you're like starting out on a phone app or something, if you wanted to, you'd be able to see the voice lines and the frames at the same time, but you wouldn't have to do that anyways, because we have all the equipment. So you could just like go start the exact same way that I did, basically. Well, start like the same way that I did this time last year, but it wasn't really the same way that I started, but I didn't really like the problem with it before, and I realized it while it was happening, but I ignored it because I was in denial that my videos were that bad. Was that I wasn't really learning anything from the videos I was making, because I wasn't like bothered to look up like tutorials or how to keep the camera steady or anything. I just was like, oh, I'm just gonna spend like an hour making this video, you know, and then just put it out, and that's it. 30-second clip, and just put it on YouTube for views, kind of. But now my priorities have changed a lot, so I've just kind of stayed more in the realm of like wanting to improve constantly, so that I can be like a professional animator one day or something. Which I think is a more attainable goal than like get thousands of views really fast. But also like because of that, people can see it in my content more, and now that means that I'm getting more views as a result. So it's kind of funny to see that like if had I just put the work in before, when I was like less mature around it, I suppose, I would have been doing better a lot quicker. But now I have to put more work in to kind of make up for lost time, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I think quantity over quality is definitely an important aspect, especially, or like an important mindset rather, especially if it's something like making videos that take hours, or streaming, or it kind of applies to everything, because if you're not doing it for the right reasons, it's not gonna last long, and it's not gonna do well, because people can tell straight away. Like, if you're not interested in something, no one else is going to be interested in it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you don't really think, like, everyone knows exactly how I feel about this, but it's like a vibe that you give off while you're producing your content. It's like, if you aren't really and truly, like, interested in something, then it shows.
Yeah, if you don't really care about your videos, no one else will either, Because, like, if you don't care about it, you're not going to put as much effort in, and then cut corners and, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's very, like, plain to see when that happens, so.
Yeah, like, I would have been filming it on my iPod Touch back in the day of in 2016. And I would have just, like, been doing it at, like, 8 frames per second or something, and I would have not known anything about the animation principles or anything. I would have just like been like, oh, I'm just gonna take a bunch of pictures, and because I'm spending about an hour on a 30-second clip, that's me putting the work in to get views, kind of. But I was just kind of like repeating that to myself to make me think, to make myself think that like I'm doing the right thing here by like caring more about the views, I guess. But like. I still post, like, I still appreciate the views. Like, I would post on Twitter, like, oh, this has gone up another 100 views, that's crazy. Just because, like, because it's just, like, a hobby, kind of passion thing. So when I see so many people seeing it, like, watching the videos compared to the amount of people that used to watch my videos, like 60 views compared to 300 now, which is my Santa video just went up to 300 views. Like, it's really cool to see that people actually care about a hobby that I have,
Yeah, and I think, like, when you start doing something for yourself rather than to, like, so people will like it, it's kind of the same for, like, it's the same for literally anything. Like, you can, the minute you start being yourself for yourself, or making videos for yourself, or just doing something that you enjoy because you enjoy it, especially if it's like videos or whatever, like I was saying before, more people are going to like it as well, because I don't know, it's just like you're saying, it's like a vibe that you put out. If you like it and you're really passionate about it, you'll get there. Whereas if you're just kind of doing it for views or for money or for attention or whatever, it's not going to go anywhere.
And that's not to say if you're at a quality that you, like, at a beginner level quality, that you're not going to go anywhere or anything. Like, just keep going, and keep like, I'm not saying I'm professional either, because I keep saying in podcasts, like, I realize afterwards, like, I sound like I'm, like, I've already made it in a kind of field, but I haven't. But I just mean, like, if you're literally, like, starting, like, day one, and you're not seeing much progress in, like, something, and you just give up right away, it comes with time and practice to get to a mediocre kind of quality that I'm, like how I'm at the moment, I suppose.
Right, and I would say, like, like, it's absolutely fine not to know how to improve, or not to be at like the professional quality at the start.
Yeah.
Because it takes time and, like, effort to get there.
Yeah, that's the thing I didn't realize before as well. I was like, but all these people are putting out these videos, so, like, they basically, like, if they're at that level now, then I can get to that level overnight. But, like, what you don't see is the behind the scenes of hours and hours of like moving tiny little moving the characters in tiny ways and like precisely following the rules of animation, kind of. Like Mind Game Studios or Forest Fire, like they put the work in to become like get to a professional level, like where they are today, kind of. So yeah, I didn't realize that before. I was just like, oh, they're already at that level, so I'm basically already at that level if I just like pump out videos. So the more views that I have, the better I'll be. But that's not really, it doesn't really relate to, you know, it's not really the same.
Yeah, and like I was gonna say earlier on, when you're making stuff that you love and then other people, like you're saying, you're tweeting about every 100 views and stuff, it's really exciting, I think, because it's just, I don't know, when you're making something that you love and then you see other people actually enjoying it as well, it's that like, I don't know, it's like a adrenaline rush? I don't know.
Yeah,
anyway.
It's like the kind of endorphins that you get from it, or it's a rewarding kind of process.
Exactly. And also, nothing happens overnight, so if you are at the start like me, like, you're not going to get thousands of views at the start, and you're not going to be able to make it a career overnight, because if that's your goal anyway. But you know, it takes so much time, especially like there are very few people who actually make money out of YouTube videos in the grand scheme of YouTube. Like the amount of, compared to the amount of people on YouTube making videos, there are not as many. Well, maybe there are, I don't know, but you get what I mean. Like,
yeah, I suppose it is frustrating though with the YouTube algorithm promoting like 30-minute vlog videos that you can make in a day compared to like a 3-minute animated video that you spent months on that might get like 50 views to 100 views, even like 1,000 views, but that's still like nothing compared to the 27 million or the whatever kind of like millions, like crazy amount of views for literally just like, I went to the shop today, you know, like just like Pat was talking about his frustration with it as well.
Yeah.
Like Morgs and Mr. Beast and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time though, I can understand, like, there is definitely, the algorithm is an issue, and like with most apps, having an algorithm doesn't make it better, you know? Instead of just, like, I don't know, the people who make the algorithms are just doing it to get more watch time, rather than to actually make it more of an enjoyable experience. They just want more clicks and more people on the website and whatever. So, especially, like, I think it had a really big impact on the Lego community when they made the algorithm to be, like, favoring longer videos, because it takes so long to get, like, even a small amount of content when you're making animation.
Yeah, like, if I was posting my videos, like, I realized, like, recently, hang on a minute, if I posted these videos, like, 10 years ago, they could potentially have, like, tens of thousands of views. Compared to like the few hundred, like, it's just frustrating, I suppose, to see that like YouTube used to be somewhere where people could post like short videos and get so many views, but like,
and have an equal chance as well, I think.
That's
point.
Yeah, like now you only get like on the trending page if you're already a well-known YouTuber or musician or Jimmy Fallon.
And your video has to be longer than 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It's
and it just causes like garbage, to be honest. Like, not that everything over 10 minutes is garbage, but I just mean like the videos that people are making that are longer than 10 minutes, and they're just making like half of it is just in there for the length of the video, and that kind of, not to say that vlogs or whatever don't take a lot of work, because I'm sure the editing process is difficult and all that stuff.
Yeah, I've noticed that as well. Like knowing more about what it takes to edit a video now makes me appreciate other people's videos more.
Yeah.
Because I can understand, oh, this is a transition type thing that you have to use this for, and this is like a certain thing that you spend this much time on to do.
Yeah.
So I suppose the more professional you become with editing, the quicker you are at doing things. But like for me, I'm a bit of a slow poke with it, so it takes me forever to like edit the videos as well. But like compared to the animation, it's kind of nothing. But like, I suppose it just makes you appreciate it more. But also, yeah, like the thing I'm complaining about as well is like they try and stretch out the videos more.
Yeah.
Like it all leads back to the algorithm, but they try and stretch out the videos so much to the point where it's just like really bad video. Like the videos are really bad.
That's what
for
I
the
was
most
saying
part.
as well.
Yeah, like a Mr. Beast video could be boiled down to a 5-minute long video if that was what the algorithm rewarded.
Yeah.
Because he's literally just like, here's money, that now they're happy. Here's a car, they're happy. But instead he's like, we're gonna smash up their first car and then buy them a new car, kind of, you know?
Yeah, it's like, it's a lot of waffle, and it's not just Mr. Beast, I don't think. But I do think he also has a big, like, team, right? Going into his videos.
Yeah, now he does. Yeah.
Like, I'm sure he spends a lot of work and a lot of people put a lot of effort in. But at the same time, if the algorithm wasn't favoring long videos, they could just be short videos that do just as well, if you know what I mean. And they wouldn't need to be, like, because I think on YouTube, people spend, like, hours per day watching videos, which is fine. But you wouldn't have to spend that much time on each video if the algorithm would just not exist or not favor longer videos, because there are people who like watching short videos but they're not seeing them on their like recommendations, and I'm not just talking about myself. But I don't know, I think it's like, especially with kids and stuff, their attention spans are shorter anyway, so why is the algorithm favoring longer videos? I don't understand.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, I think that's why it's so much easier to blow up on TikTok, because it takes like a few seconds to make a video there if it's in vlog form, in that kind of format. Like today I'm making cupcakes, you know, like it doesn't take that long to just like edit together a quick TikTok, and then you have like 1 million likes or shares or whatever. So I think like a lot more like a lot of people who make kind of shorter content would be posting there instead now, because it's frustrating.
And the thing is, like, the demand for shorter videos is still there, and you can tell that by watching TikToks, that like how much content is there on TikTok, like millions of videos every day, right?
Yeah,
probably billions, I don't know, I haven't checked, but like it's not like the demand is any less there than it was like 5 years ago. So why does the algorithm favor videos that are longer? It doesn't make any sense.
I think it's gone past the point of like they're able to control it or something. I think it's just like the algorithm has morphed into
the algorithm has taken over.
Yeah, because it just, like, I saw on the trending page today, like, you know, the Sidemen, they made like an hour-long video for like a Christmas thing. Like, all their videos are like almost an hour long. Because the algorithm like keeps pushing creators and stuff to make longer videos, you know. So like 5 years time, what is that gonna look like?
I know, right?
It's crazy.
If it keeps going in that direction, that would not bode well for the creators.
Yeah, and if TikTok keeps becoming more and more popular, because at first everyone was like, oh, TikTok's a bit cringy, you know, it's like Musical.ly. But now everyone's like, oh, I get the appeal after going on it for a few minutes.
Well,
even.
Not everybody.
Not everybody, but a lot of people.
Not that I don't.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's just like people are probably gonna stray away from YouTube if they keep promoting like this video is 2 hours long, so it does better than like even 10-minute videos now. So like, I just feel like like in 2017 even, YouTube was rewarding 10-minute videos. Now it's rewarding what was it? Yeah, now it's rewarding like 30-minute videos. But the thing is, like, it was a big thing for people. Like, they're very frustrated back then. Yeah. And I remember it was even like people made it into a bit of a joke and like poked fun at it. Like, oh, we have to stretch this video to 10 minutes. What should we do? But now it's just evolved into like, who can make the longest content? Whoever makes the longest video. Yeah. is the person that gets the biggest reward for it. Kind of, it's a bit ridiculous.
It also is kind of like podcast format almost. That's why there are so many podcasts on YouTube. Not saying that your one shouldn't be or whatever. I'm not saying that podcasts are bad,
No,
but
I
I'm
was
just
thinking
saying
that
like
myself.
the rise of podcasts has caused content on YouTube to stretch, I suppose. Like
Yeah.
things that are, say, vlogs or, I don't know, Christmas videos or whatever, are having to stretch out because of the demand for podcasts, and for some reason that means that everyone has to make podcast length videos now. I don't know. Like maybe it's just YouTube not realizing the difference, but they don't tend to, from what I can see anyway, they don't tend to do things in favor of the creators. They just genuinely want more attention and more clicks and more money, and you know.
Yeah, it's definitely frustrating when the algorithm keeps rewarding these things. I know I keep like kind of going in a
Finding
loop
out
here.
about
But
it. Yeah.
But anyways, moving on. Back to the questions from Instagram and Twitter. You asked, who is older?
Thank you, me, for that question. I'm very interested to know the answer. I'm older
Mhm.
by 2 years, and it's not very easy to tell. This is why I asked the question. It's so hard to tell because Sean is taller than me by a lot. And it's not like my voice is very deep or anything. Not that it needs to be for me to seem older, but you know, I'm not very tall. I don't seem, I don't know, maybe it's just a vibe. I just give up a small child vibe. But I am 18, I'm an adult, I swear.
Yeah, I'm the younger one to answer that question.
Who's older? Me.
Anyways, though,
Sorry.
so is there anything that you would want to talk about to close off the podcast?
I would like to say, if anybody who currently makes brick films is listening and they want to hire me to do a voice line, then my Twitter and Twitch are in the description.
Yeah.
But no, I'm just kidding. But actually, though, I'm available. But I was just maybe, I kind of want to say, if people, specifically dudes in the brick filming community, please put more female characters in your videos. Thank you.
Yeah, it's even for me, like, it's not something that crosses my mind
Yeah.
a whole lot, but
Yeah, like, I don't think it's particularly the creator's fault as well. And that's what I was saying earlier, like, it's, a lot of things go into it. I guess it's that it doesn't really cross your mind unless you're in that position of not being represented, I guess.
Yeah.
And I don't blame anybody, but maybe let go.
Cough, cough.
But no, I think it would just be nice to see more women in general in the community.
Not even in brick films, just in
Yeah,
general.
no, just more women. Please, more women, thank you.
But yeah, I totally get. Well, I mean, I don't totally get, because it's not me in that position.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I can understand the frustration, I suppose. Not completely, but
Yeah, no, but you can see.
I can see that. Yeah, I've been not really represented in that kind of thing, especially when it's like a niche that you're trying to start to get interested in.
Yeah.
Or are interested in.
Yeah, I would say to start, but yeah. Like, it's hard as well. It is, like you were saying earlier, intimidating for, at least for me anyway, being like, I guess, joining into a community where it's mostly men or boys or whatever. And I don't have anything against men necessarily. It's just, you know, it's hard to know, like, because I don't see many videos that I would make, if that makes sense. Like, in the brick filming community, I'm not saying that their videos are bad or anything, they're just not specifically things that I would think to make, because they're from a different perspective and all that stuff. And so, I don't know, yeah. It's weird.
Yeah, like, people's experiences kind of fuel their art, I suppose.
Yeah. Art imitates life. And that's, yeah. So, if there are any women listening, or whatever, and people who aren't men listening who want to get involved in the brick film community or the Lego community or whatever, please do.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. If you're listening and you're thinking, should I get into this? Just give it a go and see what you think.
Yeah.
That's what I did, and I still enjoy it. So.
You never know.
Well, yeah. Once again, Neve's new Twitch and new Twitter. It's itscherrypie, and at itscherrypie2 on Twitter. Will be linked in the description, so you can check her stuff out. And hopefully, if she makes brick films in the future, I'll add that as a link as well.
Thank you.
No problem. So yeah, thanks for coming on the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. Yeah, so thanks to all of you for listening. I'll probably film like an outro bit that'll cut in here afterwards, but yeah, thanks for listening. See ya in the next episode. I have no idea when that'll be, but I wasn't able to make one before because I was unwell, so I apologize, but I will try and make more in the future. But yeah, goodbye. Hello, and goodbye, I suppose, because it's the end of the episode. Yeah, so that was a lot of fun to record once again, and also once again I will leave a link to itscherrypie's Twitter and Twitch, so definitely check her stuff out. It's very entertaining. If she starts brick filming on a YouTube channel, that'll be linked down below as well. So if you're listening to this a few months from now, or even a few weeks from now, it might be linked by then. I don't know. I don't actually know when she'll be starting to make videos, but anyways, getting a bit off topic. But yeah, if you want to stick around for the Death Star live streams on my YouTube channel, and you are listening to this on a podcasting app, then head on over to the YouTube channel. It'll be linked in the description, episode information thing for podcasting apps. But I won't put it in the YouTube channel version, obviously, because it's on YouTube already. Yeah, if you're not subscribed in general and you want to check out the Death Star streams, and you are planning on subscribing, thanks, but also don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss them. But yeah, that's all for this episode of the podcast. Make sure to like, share, and comment to support the show. Oh, also, I have made a Buy Me a Coffee account, which I will also link in the description if you would like to support the show. I think the minimum amount, actually you can decide the minimum amount, I'm pretty sure. Like, you can decide how much you want to give, but it's basically like a donation thing to help support the channel and the podcast, so that I can put more funds into the equipment that I might buy for the podcast, or if I don't know, need to fix a broken piece of equipment, then I would be able to. Not to say that I have currently got a broken piece of equipment, everything's working fine, but I just mean to further improve the overall quality of the audio and the editing and everything of the podcast. Donations would go a long way. So yeah, once again, link will be in the description. Thanks in advance if you do donate. If you don't, that is okay as well. It is perfectly fine if you do not feel comfortable doing that. I'm not trying to like suck all your money away or anything. It's just a way of having something there so that you can support the channel if you do want to. But again, you don't have to. It's just something that I thought might as well make an account for. Thanks once again for listening this far into the podcast, and I hope you did enjoy the episode, and hopefully you identified with some of the things that we talked about, or just agreed with them in general. Yeah, if you do want to suggest guests for me to have on, just leave them in the comments or something, or tweet them at me at MetEnthusiast. Link will be in the description for my Twitter as well, and I'll do my best to try and get them on the show, podcast. But yeah, that's all for now. Goodbye.